Keola Rains here, and now I'm back with my grandmother. So in one of our textbooks, in the introduction talking about gender and sport, the authors suggested, Stanley and Eitzen suggested, that any college student who's reading the textbook should ask their grandmothers about their experience in sport. And I am blessed enough to have both of my grandmothers here, and I'm able to ask them about their experience in sport. So here we go. Tell me your name and what year you graduated high school. We'll start with, this is my grandmother.
I'm Lavelle Rains, and I graduated from high school in 1945.
1945, okay. And this is my other grandmother.
I'm Mildred Lanusa, and I graduated in 1946.
1945, 1946. Who was the president? That is a trivia question. You could tell me. Who was the president when you graduated?
President
Roosevelt.
Oh, Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
Who knows? Could be, could be. I'm terrible. I don't know. So, okay, let's get right to it. Did you play sports in high school?
In high school, not very much sports.
No, didn't play sports.
No.
Did you play sports in
No.
high school?
We didn't have girls' sports in high school.
So you weren't on a softball team or a basketball team?
No, definitely not.
We didn't have that in
No,
high school
definitely
for
not.
girls.
Okay, so my next question was why or why not, and both of them are saying you didn't. That wasn't offered. There was no girls' basketball team.
It was not offered to
Oh, it
us.
wasn't offered. Okay. And so this might be kind of a funny question because I was going to ask you, who was your favorite female athlete in high school?
I didn't know any. I didn't know
Their
any.
faces. She said, oh my, you didn't know any. Okay. Okay, so you didn't play sports. What about PE? Did you have gym or PE?
No, we didn't have gym, but we had what we called recess.
Recess,
And we
okay.
would go
Yeah.
out on the, playground, and we might play a little baseball, or that's about it, actually.
Baseball?
They just gave
But
us
it wasn't
a
teamed
little,
or anything. It was just
gave us a little time to go out between classes, and it wasn't anything definite.
Right. And but what about the boys? Was there a PE class for the boys at all, or do you remember that?
I don't recall a PE
No.
class, but most of the boys played football or basketball.
Interesting. Okay, and then what about after high school? Did you, once you graduated and you were married and you started having kids, did you do any kind of physical activity on a regular basis, like walking or running, playing any kind of sport with your girlfriends?
My physical activity was washing clothes on the washboard.
On the washboard, okay, okay. And what about you?
Well, the
Grandma?
only physical activity that I had actually was occasionally. It was four of us, and we would play tennis. Go
Okay,
to the park or playground. But it wasn't like a regular every week thing we did, just
Right.
occasionally.
like recreational,
Recreational.
leisure
yes.
time.
That's what it was.
Okay.
A little leisure.
Okay, interesting. So, neither one of them had an opportunity to play high school sports. It wasn't offered to women in their time. That sounds like makes you sound really old. Back in their time, and definitely PE and physical activity wasn't something that was promoted for women in your era.
Never, never.
Okay, and why do you think that is, or did you ever think about why you didn't play sports? Did you ever want to? Did you see the boys playing sports and say, oh my gosh, that looks fun, or just didn't seem like something was for you?
No, I never did.
I think we were I know I was kind of taught to, girls don't do that. I mean, you have to be a nice little girl, not,
Not say,
Yeah.
you're just quiet,
that wasn't, the girls didn't do that.
Do a little sewing
And I
or
tell you,
something.
another thing, if I may, is that because we were in segregated schools, I think they might have had those things in the white schools.
Interesting.
Baseball for girls.
Right.
And not football, but basketball. But they didn't offer it in the black schools.
And in my case, they could have had something going on that wasn't offered to us because we had the Holy Family nuns were teaching.
Oh,
They
right.
were black nun,
Right.
you know,
Right.
in that order. That's all they were.
And so
Black.
more like based on religion or
Yeah, kind of
background.
religious background to it. So we just had to be nice, you know, and have your dress long enough and all that kind
With your
of
legs
stuff.
crossed.
Never had pants.
Never even wore pants?
Oh,
Oh
never.
my goodness,
Never.
that didn't happen until after
There
the
was
war,
no
actually,
such
for women.
thing. No.
wearing pants.
No.
World War II. And
Interesting.
girls were not loud and boisterous. You had to be talk softly, not yell and scream,
Yes.
and things like that.
So no yelling, screaming, no aggression, definitely.
That's right, right.
Sounds like a different time that I probably wouldn't have lasted very long in. So thank you for answering a couple
Yeah.
questions, and that's just a little bit of insight from two women from 1945, class of 1945 and class of 1946,
Yes.
and their experiences in sport, or lack thereof, I would say.
That's right.
Thank
it
you.
was a lack.
You're
A real lack.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you for interviewing.